It's time to think like a marketer who thinks like a consumer. Hi, I'm Bert Martinez, and if your ads aren't working, meaning you're not getting more leads, more opt-ins, you're not converting more sales, then this video is for you, because we're going to walk through why your ads are not working, and more importantly, how to fix it. So stay tuned, have fun, and I want you to stay to the end of the video. I'm going to give away something for free that's going to help you with converting higher and better, and there's no credit card required. It's completely free, and there's no upsell or anything. It's just free, just to help you out. So stay tuned, get ready. We're going to smash it. And speaking of smashing, smash that like button. Please smash that like button. You know, YouTube algorithm loves those smashed like buttons. Maybe make a comment and subscribe if you're not already a member. Make sure you watch the video towards the end. I'm offering a free gift, and you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to help accelerate everything that we're talking about today. It'll help accelerate your conversions, your sales, your opt-ins, everything. So make sure that you grab the free gift towards the end of this video. Welcome back. Hey, in this video, as I promised, we're going to cover how to fix your ads. To take ads that are not responding or not working and actually get them to make you money. Because if you're willing to advertise, it's really about making money. In fact, what I love about advertising, it's really one of the fastest ways to build wealth, especially if you're advertising a digital product. Think about it. You took stuff that was in your head and you made something out of it, right? That is fantastic. So congratulations. And again, if maybe you're selling a physical product, a book or something else, and again, what we're going to cover in today's video is going to fix your stuff. All right. So the number one thing when I'm consulting with a client, the first thing I look at when they come to me and tell me their ads aren't working is I'm going to look at the traffic, specifically who they're targeting. So I should say I'm going to look at their targeting, right? And so, for example, this is how important it is. Let's say that you're selling a fitness program to women who just had a child, right? But you've selected everybody in the United States. Well, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You're not going to get as many conversions, if any at all, because your targeting is too wide and it's not narrow enough. And we're going to fix that targeting, right? So another example is if you are trying to target men, but you accidentally targeted women. So that's a real simplification, but bottom line, the first thing I always look at is who are we targeting versus who are we supposed to be targeting? Because if you're targeting your ideal audience, then you should be able to convert fairly quick. The second thing I look at is if you're dealing in Facebook, I think LinkedIn's like this, I think Twitter's like this, but definitely Facebook. What is your ad objective? So in Facebook, and a couple of the platforms, it'll ask you, are you driving traffic or are you driving conversion? Bing. So if you're driving traffic, you're not going to convert very well, because what will happen is Facebook and some of these other platforms will drive a bunch of traffic. And I don't know why anybody just wants a bunch of traffic, but that's an option. They'll drive a bunch of traffic and then you'll get almost no buys, no conversion whatsoever. And again, I don't understand why that's an option. At least for me, I always want buyers. So make sure that your objective is for conversion and not set to traffic, right? So those two tips right there will probably fix a lot of your stuff right there. The other thing is, what is your image? Is it compelling? Does it really capture the imagination? Now, images are very important. Again, Facebook has images, Twitter has images, LinkedIn has images. So Google, I think, has images. I think they all have images now. So they have images and or video. So if you're running a video, and usually we'll take a frame shot of that video, and you got to make sure that it's compelling, that it captures the imagination. Most people, you know, if you track your data, most people are using some kind of device, right? Either a mobile phone or a tablet, and they make their decision based on the visual. So your image is important. So assuming you are targeting the right traffic, right audience, assuming that you've set the objective to conversions, and assuming that you have a good image, then if you're still not getting conversions, the other thing I'm going to look at is your copywriting, right? So a good headline. The headline in your ad is 80%, maybe even 90% of the success that you're going to have in that ad. Why? Because the headline has the consumer stop in their tracks, right? A good headline, man, a good headline will stop somebody from scrolling, right? So if that headline and that image are both compelling, you got their attention. And a good headline will get somebody to open up that ad. I mean, we're all aware of clickbait. Why is clickbait so persuasive and so pervasive? Because they'll spend hours, weeks coming up with that perfect headline to get us to click on it, only for us to be disappointed. Clickbait. But you want to do the same thing. You want to start working on that compelling headline. The better the headline, the more clicks you're going to get on your ad. And again, assuming that you've done all your other stuff correctly, you got the right audience, you got the right objective, you got the right image. Now the headline, they're going to open up that ad and bam, you're going to start getting money. Hand over fist, maybe. So you got the headline, you got people opening up your ad or clicking on your ads, but now they're not going to your opt-in page or your sales page. Why? Because your copy probably sucks. And maybe it's confusing. Maybe you're using, I don't know, it could be you're using too many words when maybe fewer words would work, or maybe you're not using enough words. Maybe you're trying to sell a high ticket item. I have found that when I'm selling a high ticket item, I like to use more in my description, not less. So you have to have a compelling headline that gets them to stop, but the copy, the body, the copywriting of that ad is obviously just as important, because if you cannot keep their attention, they move on, right? So basically they just cost you whatever it is, $1 or $2 or $3, and now they've moved on because you couldn't hold their attention. So those are fairly easy to fix. Now, if they are clicking on your ad and then going to your opt-in page but not opting in, it's almost the same scenario. You want to check the headline, you want to check the copy on that landing page, on that sales page. Make sure that it's compelling. Make sure that you're delivering value to that ideal client or prospective client, right? So again, let's say that you're selling a fitness product and your promise is, hey, with my free report, I'm going to show you how you can lose 10 pounds in 10 minutes while you sleep. Now, I'm just making this up. Whatever you promise, you have to be able to deliver on that promise. So somebody who wants to lose weight, that's going to be a pretty compelling promise. That is the value proposition. And so if I'm promising them, giving me their email and their name, they're going to receive all this value. I'm going to show them the secret to losing 10 pounds in 10 minutes while they sleep or whatever it is. So again, I'm just using that as a fun example, but whatever you are promising must be something they can use right away. So back in the day, you could say, hey, here's a 10-page report or a 20-page report, blah, blah, blah. Consumers don't want that anymore. It's got to be something that they can digest and use right away. That's really the trick. So don't offer somebody a 20-page report or even a 10-page report. It's got to be one page. It's got to be easy to understand. Check out my one-page report and you'll find out, and I'm going to reveal all these great secrets. Something like that. It's got to be good. And again, this is going to vary depending on who your ideal client is and what's the ultimate objective that you're trying to deliver to that consumer. Is it a low-end, medium, or high-end ticket? So if you're dealing with a high-end ticket, like maybe you're doing jet cards or you're doing a high-end consulting, again, no matter what it is, it's got to be compelling to them. So they opt in. Yay! Now, they haven't bought your first offer. What the flip, man? So here's what's going on. The reality is 80, maybe even 90%, but definitely 80% of the people who opt in are not going to buy your first offer, period, because they don't know, like, and trust you yet. It's basically normal. So about 20% of them will. So if you got 100 people to opt in, you could probably expect anywhere between 10, 15, or 20 sales like that. That's the good news. Now, the other good news is that the 80% that didn't buy that first offer, that's okay. You just put them into your aggressive email sequence. I use the word aggressive because I want them to either piss or get off the pot. I don't want them in my email list for months, not ever buying, or even, worse, they're sitting in there, not even opening my emails. And the reason that's worse is because if they don't open your emails over time, then that kind of hurts your open rates, which, email marketing companies don't like that. So you got to get rid of those people. That's why you purge your list on a regular basis for people who are inactive. Back to getting you those sales. So now you drop these people into your aggressive email campaign. I don't mean you have to be rude or crude or socially unacceptable, but you're basically hitting them over the head with, hey, look at all this value I'm giving you. Get this now. By the way, it's worth $2,000. You're getting it today for $200. And again, the value has to be there. I'll give you a great example. I had a client of mine who sells consulting for around the $7,000 to $10,000 range. And he got himself into a jam, and he needed money right away. And he came up with this ad, and it stunk. He got no sales whatsoever. And the problem was that he had a terrible headline, but even worse was the value proposition was something along the lines, hey, I'm going to come out to your city, and I'm going to help you, and it's going to be $2,000. The ad was so bad that $2,000 just seemed ludicrous to people. But here's the other thing. He does routinely get between $7,000 and $10,000 per client. So if his ad would have been, hey, I usually charge $7,000 to $10,000, but during this 30-day, 4-day, 3-day, whatever special that I'm running, you can get me now for $2,000. That is a little bit more of a value. People are going to go, well, wait a minute. Why is this guy giving me such a big, deep discount? And depending on what the copy says, somebody may say, okay, I'll give this guy a try. Or wait a minute, I've heard of this guy. Hey, I've been following this guy for a few weeks, few months, few years. I might as well do it because I know that he charges $10,000 and I get him for $2,000. So you just got to make sure that you frame your price in a way that makes sense. Again, it's got to be compelling. Something that I'm kind of against is telling somebody, hey, it's $7,000 worth of value, you're only getting it for $19. What? And I think most people are beyond that. It just can't be that, the difference between what the value is versus what the price is can't be that huge, right? Nobody's going to discount their stuff, 95 or 97 or 99% down. And that's the old fashioned way of doing info marketing, right? Does it still work? Yes. And it works on newbies, and it works on unsophisticated consumers. And normally those aren't, the best buyers, but a lot of people make a good living that way. Anyway, I digress. So here's the deal. Now you've dropped them into the email sequence. And let's say that they're not opening your emails. Again, 80% of your email success is in that headline. In an email, the headline is the subject line. So if you have a compelling subject line, then they're going to open that email. So it's fairly easy to fix. Just got to play around with the subject line and make sure that it's compelling. Get them to open it. Email list, super important. Follow-up, super important. Subject line, super, super, super duper important, right? So now, if you get them to open up the email, congratulations. Now what? Bert, I'm still not getting any sales. Go back to your copy. Is your copy really compelling? Is your copy resonating with them? And it's probably not. That's why they're not clicking on to going onto your sales page. Again, that's easy to fix. Just got to play around with the copy. And finally, they're clicking onto your sales page. But again, they're not buying. It's the offer. Again, the headline is important. Maybe there's a countdown there to help them, motivate them, give them that artificial scarcity that we all love. But bottom line is, if they're not buying after they've clicked on your emails, it could be they're just not ready yet. They just want to, they're still kicking the tires, which happens, especially if you have a countdown. So if it's going to expire yeah, if the offer is going to expire in 2 or 3 days, they may not buy until the day almost it expires. It's just the human thing in us, right? But again, it's got to be value, right? It's got to be that perceived value. And I'll give you one of the examples that I gave at a talk not too long ago. And that is, I asked people in the audience, who here wants to buy a brand new Cadillac? Nobody raised their hands. Then I asked them, if I have a brand new Cadillac in the back, I'm willing to sell it to the first one, and I'm selling it for $1,000. The first person up on stage with $1,000, I'm going to give you a brand new Cadillac. How many people are interested? Just about everybody raised their hand. Why? Because there's the value there. The perceived value is huge. You don't necessarily want a Cadillac, but if I could get a Cadillac, it's a $40,000 or $50,000 car for $1,000, man, I can take that car and sell it for 25, 30 grand, undercut the market, it'll sell like that, and I'm going to pocket a bunch of money. That is perceived value. That's really what you want. You want that value there. So if somebody is going to buy your stuff, you're asking them to give you credit card information, very sensitive credit card information, and to trust you that your stuff is good. So again, it's got to be compelling, and the value's got to be there. Somebody's got to look at your copy and say, man, this is the solution I want. I can see how this solution is going to help me sleep better at night. It's going to help me feel better. It's going to solve my problem. It's really what I'm looking for. Here's something else to think about. I'm very blessed. I've been married for 30, going on 35 years. I have 3 daughters and my beautiful wife. So 4 women that are around me all the time. And all of them, without fail, had bought really expensive shoes with money they didn't have. Not only were these expensive shoes, but these were painful shoes to wear. You probably have experienced that. Women buy expensive, painful shoes, and you'll see them at the end of the night, they're all holding their expensive shoes because they can't take the pain anymore. But the value, the perceived value is that these shoes are going to make my outfit. These shoes are going to make my butt look sexy. And therefore, I'm going to pay cash or credit, and I'm willing to put up with the pain for as long as I can because these shoes are worth it. The way they make me feel are worth it. That is the value that you want to deliver to your clients. They want to feel great about buying your stuff. That's what I mean by perceived value, compelling offer. If you have an ugly perceived value, then, all you can do is try to sell it as cheap as you can, as cheap as you can, as cheap as you can, and hopefully enough people will buy it. But anyway, that's basically it. I hope that these tips have helped you out. I hope that you will do me a big favor and smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. This helps out my program here on YouTube. It also tells the algorithm that you like me, and that helps that. And then really, if you would please leave a comment, even if it's a simple comment like thank you or like or whatever, just the simplest comment. That again tells the algorithm that I'm delivering some value, and it helps my channel immensely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please, again, subscribe, like, share, comment, and remember, you, my friend, were created to succeed.